So here we go with another installment of our Adventure Caravan 31-day Grand Circle guided RV tour. There's going to be 5 days in this segment, and you can see here that we're starting out all getting together, having kind of a coffee and donut social in the morning. We did not have those every day, but I can tell you that the days that we did have those, we all started out earlier and probably more close together because everybody was just all sugared up and ready to rock and roll. Now, Sue and I and Pat and Paul, we usually hung back a little bit. We also appreciated the assurance we had that our tail gunner was going to, in fact, even be following us. So we didn't have anything to worry about if we would have any travel issues along the way. We'd like to invite everyone to come along with us as we go to Canyonlands and check out Arches and Dead Horse State Park. We've got plenty to do. Here you can see Pat and Paul on one of our free days took a little jaunt in their Jeep. That turned out really good. We had some relatively hot weather, but we just took it easy and strolled around. Here you can see it was 102 degrees, so that's nothing to sneeze at. But what the heck, Sue decided that that's a good day for her to run up these steps, and I support her in everything she does. We found a number of little secret places like this ribbon canyon that we show. One of the days in the evening, we went on a rafting trip that started out right before dusk and ended up with a spectacular view of the canyon at night with that chase vehicle that would light our way. And of course, we'll show you how we save on our diesel fuel when we fill up, and we'll show you a little calamity we had doing it.
Tight quarters. We didn't see these guys coming around the corner, but cooperation, we all made it through.
I think I have to confess that I was totally unprepared for every single time we would move from one of the 10 locations to another, that I was not expecting the scenery to be this spectacular. And yes, I will confess that for many of the 5 years that Sue and I have been on the road, we've been traditionally on the interstates or some of the larger highways. And so, yeah, I guess of course you're going to have better scenery, but oh my God, we went from a 5 on the 10 rating to an 11 on the 0 to 10 rating. Going on this caravan and once again getting outside of our comfort zone has shown us, at least out west here, that these beautiful roads that take you out in areas where you have such close visibility and where you're literally immersed in the beauty that you're looking at. We would not have done that if this caravan wouldn't have laid out these routes for us. And we have now permanently readjusted our travel idea on where we can and can't go. Sue and I read each and every comment that we get, and I can't tell you how many times we'll get a comment from a subscriber or a viewer that says, please, please, please don't cut short the segments that are beautiful like this, where you show what it's like to be driving in a Class A with the type of visibility that we have. So When we get a ride like this that is a little bit extra special, we like to make sure that we put it in and edit out the glare from the windshield and, maybe the, trucks or the construction that may or may not happen. This particular drive was just so peaceful because the posted speed limits were actually quite low and there was virtually no traffic on it. So it was like being in a movie theater, relaxing and watching this terrain just unfold right in front of you. I can tell you that when you go on this 31-day caravan, that the type of scenery that you're going to see day after day is illustrated right here. When you come around the corner, not suspecting anything, and then you get one of these and you go, oh my God, it just keeps getting better and better, just like this did. All right, well, you don't want to get too relaxed here because I'm coming down this ramp to have a fuel stop here. And let's say I miss this sign here that says it's 14-foot clearance. And let's say I'm a little bit on the tall side. Well, I get to this stop sign here, and it's pretty reasonable to expect that I'll notice this bridge here. And so as I make the corner and I go, wow, I wonder what the clearance on this bridge is. And you look and there's a nice big yellow sign that says that it's 15'8". And the one next coming down the pike here is not marked, but it's the same vintage, same style. So you're good to go at 15'8". And so now you start having a conversation about, hey, when we're at the place, Sue, maybe you should pick up some DEF, or, maybe you want to get a hot dog or a slushie or something. And if you don't pick up that this next bridge is 14 foot, you're going to have what we call in the trade an air conditioning removal experience in a matter of moments. Check out this little disaster we almost had here. I mean, who in their right mind would have expected that curb to have been there?
Oh, no. Go. Oh, here comes a truck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'll save you the trouble. I said wow 4 times. Thank you, Sue, for helping me when I go into these truck stops to see obstacles like that and to help select a lane. You can see that to get around that red curb, you had to wiggle way into this thing. And as trucks are queued up and sitting back, I'm thinking the probability of bumping over that curb gets even higher and higher. Now, to save in the fuel costs that have been just adding up lately because of how much per gallon everything is, we're using the TSD Logistics fuel card. And we invite you to send us an email and ask for a copy of our Excel spreadsheet that will show you all of the fuel savings that we've had over the last 40 stops or so. This is actually the best way for you to see illustrated without any monkey business that this is the real deal and you need to be joining it. Send me an email at ourjourneyinmiles@gmail.com and I'll get it right out to you.
Adventure 1, this is Adventure 5. We're approaching the park. We're at the traffic lights right now.
Come now. Turn right into the park and you'll see me sitting under the tree.
Roger that.
We really appreciated the fact that when they were available, the Adventure Caravans company picked campgrounds that had swimming pools. And trust me, when it's a little toasty out, that's something you want to make sure your caravan company pays attention to. Over the last few years, the national parks have become so busy that they now have a timed entry pass you need to show up with to be able to get in. These are in limited supply, and they are typically purchased online on a lottery system, and they can make for a stressful visit if you don't have one. Adventure Caravans supplied all of us with these sheets of paper the night before, and getting in was a non-event for us.
All right, I think we're on day 13 now, and first thing is Arches National Park. We're going to hit the visitor center and check it out. Exciting later on, though. We're going to be on a nighttime cruise after we have a Dutch oven dinner, and we'll be a cruise in the, I don't know, what river is that we're going on tonight?
Oh,
This is the Colorado.
it's
Colorado?
Right. And I think they're going to have lights in the hills
Yes.
lit up, so it should be pretty spectacular.
Yeah, but first we'll hit the spectacular arches.
Wow, get that line, honey. Earlier is better.
I think we were in before 10, weren't we?
Yes, I think we
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
It's only 18 after now.
Yeah, we spent a bit of time.
So this is just one of the first stops. And we've got a lot more to do. And I know some are going to be even more spectacular, but had to do it, had to get out. So you gotta wonder, what kind of concrete or Gorilla Glue are they using
For what?
to hold the rock up?
Oh, honey. Do I have to explain everything on the OGM channel engineering section?
Yeah.
This obviously was built correctly by the aliens, and they used a rebar that connects the base to there. And right now it's fooling us, but in a couple more thousand years, when it erodes enough, they're going to see
We'll
that
see
the
the
rebar
rebar.
is there. Yeah.
Alien rebar.
Yep.
Excellent.
Well, just a OGM engineering tip. I decided that I'm going to go and see this arch. It's going to be one of my crowning achievements. But that's because the engineering people that did this path were awesome. Not only did they put stairs in, they put a ramp in the middle of the stairs. Look at this. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, you don't have to really lift your legs, I guess.
She's an overachiever, so of course on film she has to run, but you're not going to catch the Chan Man jogging up this thing.
We are at Delicate Arch. There's two of them actually. There's, I don't know, what are they called? Lower and upper. So what we're going to do is, we're here. There's the lower, and there it is. Easy walk, easy walk. It's getting hot.
This is the Delicate Arch from the upper viewpoint.
Yeah.
So when you went all the way to here, then you're looking at this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting a lower viewpoint.
Got it.
Lower viewpoint. There it is.
Yeah.
There's upper too, if you want to walk all the way up there.
Yeah, and as a pro tip, if you want to see close up what it looks like up there, you're going to have to go to a different YouTube channel.
All right, sand dune.
Well, let's come back when
Arch.
they fix it, honey.
Fix what?
Well, it's the broken arch. Let's come back when they fix it.
Nautical.
It's like going to Greece and seeing the ruins. I'm waiting until they fix them all.
Oh my God.
You go through and you tell me if I'll fit through the gauge, because I might not. All right? Tell me if I'm thin enough.
Think you're good. Come on. You're good. Ooh, I'm slippery here. Watch your step on that part.
All right.
Ooh. Wow.
How's it like?
Wow. Pretty cool.
What are you doing, Sue?
Doing what a girl's supposed to do.
What's that?
If there's sand, you go barefoot.
Oh, you're letting the dogs out, right?
Feels awesome. Mark, try it. Try
Yeah.
it. Join me.
I don't know. I don't have a permit, honey, to take my shoes off. There's a problem there sometimes.
All right, another adventure. Ooh, got to get out of the sunlight though.
Okay.
Another adventure continues. So today we did Arches National Park. Tonight we have a night cruise and Dutch oven dinner. This was all planned. It's going to be on the Colorado River. This is all planned part of Adventure Caravans. That's a nice thing is we just show up and they have all these things pre-planned for us. No worries.
Well, how far along on this caravan are you?
All right, we are on day 13. Day 13. Wow, we've got like less than 20 days to go.
Yeah, well, why don't we show them how nice I'm dressed?
Yeah, Mark is looking date night.
Well, once again, this is date night, so no logo and no sign on the back. Of course, this shirt is from a rummage sale I went at probably 10 years ago. So I've upgraded my costume with a new hat
Yeah.
that I just got today.
From the Arches.
We'll have footage in one of our episodes on Canyonlands, but not right now. So let's get in the gray bus and get to our tour.
Wow, looks like they have a lot of things you can rent here. Paddle boards, whatever those things are, UTV tours, and of course we got to check out the gift store.
Mark 2 rows of tables, all right, folks? Folks, no. Mark 2 rows.
There he is. Always one person holding us up.
Tail gunner is sweeping the perimeter. Well, our tail gunner got on board safely and was confident we had everybody. Our guide was just excellent on this tour, and we learned all sorts of facts and figures on the one-way trip all the way to the end where our turnaround point was. And at that point, it started to get dark enough, and then the chase vehicle traveled along the rock faces as we learned new facts and figures about the area. The temperature this evening was absolutely perfect as the chase vehicle followed us on our return trip back to the facility. The food we had was awesome, and this experience to be able to look forward to at the end of a hot day of exploring was just really something different and something special.
All right, it is day 14, and it's a free day, so we're kind of traveling around right now. We're at Dead Horse Point State Park, and holy smokes, we're just at the visitor center right now. It's kind of like we don't have to go anywhere else. We're going to be heading into the Canyonlands National Park also today, and after that, who knows, dinner downtown Moab. Day 14, here we go.
Don't you want to talk about our hats?
Oh yeah, we got our hats in, where was that?
We were at the play where the Mary Poppins was.
We're at a farmer's market, I believe in Glenwood. No, it's St. George. We're at
Yes.
St. George. We're at a farmer's market and we found these hats. They're lightweight. The guy assured me the black will not absorb the heat. He's got one, so we have a new look.
What
It's
was
our
it?
hiking look.
Tuacahn, is that the name of it?
I don't remember.
We got to the Adventure Caravans tour about 4 days early just to fool around with things.
St.
you know?
George,
Yeah.
yeah. Right now we're outside Moab, Dead Horse Point. Wow, look at that. Like I said, we're just at the visitor center right there.
Yeah.
Do we need to see any more? Paul and Pat way ahead of us.
All I can say is wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You know, to a certain extent, you don't need the grandeur of the Grand Canyon because it's so big that you can't physically suck it all in.
Yeah, this you can suck it in. All right, we're thinking we found the Dead Horse Point. And story behind that is years ago there were wild horses out here, and the cowboys tried to corral them, found that they could get them onto this little peninsula and then actually fence off the opening where they came in and sort through the ones that were marketable and let go of the ones that weren't. And story has it they did not open the fence for the ones that were not marketable, and they ended up dying of thirst. Dead Horse Point. Nice. All right. I think we need to drive up to that point to get a really good look. Let's do it.
The East Rim Trail and the West Rim Trail. Which one we taking, honey?
I wish. There's a better viewpoint up there. Whoop. We're going to walk up there, but let's scan this area. Wow. Colorado River sculpting the canyon. Let's do it. So you would think Paul is trying to look for wildlife. He's really trying to find how far are we from the entrance of the national park.
30-minute wait from sign.
Okay.
30 minutes? All right, it's a bust. Too long a line.
Yeah.
Look how long it is still behind us. And this is why we got up before the sun when we went to Yellowstone. This is what we saw when we came out.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God! Look at this.
Yeah.
And then in between each
Looking,
location to look at something, somebody's going to want to go 35 miles an hour. Well, we decided to make the best of our aborted Canyonlands trip and catch some lunch and pasta at this nice restaurant. And we knew we had a free day coming up, so everybody talked about and made plans for the next day. So let's talk about what Sue did. Turns out Sue had signed up for a rafting trip with enough of the adventure caravan cohorts that they actually filled up 2 of the rafts. Now, on our trip, it turns out we had 2 Georges. There's one center stage right there on the left, and we had a very smart wagon master here on the right here, Tom, that put one of the Georges in each of the rafts. I guess maybe that's because in case we would lose one of them, we'd kind of have a spare. So the water was a little low on this excursion, but the temperature was absolutely perfect, as well as the scenery that you can see that everybody experienced in the distance there. It wasn't too vigorous of a ride, and everybody felt safe. I had my own things that I had lined up to do, and we'll get to that later. But you'll see that Sue's wrapping up here, and she loved it.
All right, we made it. Everybody's still alive, wet, but we're still alive.
Okay, so on the Adventure Caravans free day for Pat and Paul, they decided to do a little jeeping. And both of them, I think more than Sue and I, were a little bit disappointed that they didn't get into Canyonlands right away. So they thought that's exactly what they're going to do. And here they're viewing from one of the platforms what it looks like. Now, I'm thinking that Paul maybe is taking the Jeep Wrangler Unlimited moniker maybe a little bit too serious, but nonetheless, he decided to go on this Schaffer trail and test his skills at driving around the back here and take a little look-see. And I'm thinking, now that I'm editing this, I'm glad we did not go along, because right about now, Paul would be thinking, you know, I have to get rid of Mark sitting in the back seat, because his constant crying and having a slight nervous breakdown at this point would just be very, very distracting to his driving. So this is probably the point where they would have ejected me. Now, what I loved the most about when I was editing this was the Clint Eastwood moment here that Paul pulls when he calmly stops and rolls down the window to take a little look at what he's going to get into, and he comes to the conclusion that, yeah, this isn't too bad. I'll just be careful and I'll just watch my speed, and I'm going to take a little jaunt, no problem. It's probably at this point that Pat was going, I wonder if Paul is a safe driver today, and she glanced over and she went, oh, I see he's got his hands at 10 and 2, so I'm good to go. And that seems to be, when I listened to their conversation on the GoPro here, that was literally the last time they ever really had any nervous talk. It was funny actually listening to them, because Paul said, oh, I think the key to this driving is all you have to do is, go slow. Well, hello, Paul. The other thing you have to do is not look down, and basically the only one that's getting to see anything, I think, is the passenger. And the passenger is going, I don't want to see anything, because they're trying to watch the road too. I mean, look at how narrow and washed out this gets here, and these real honest to goodness switchbacks that you have to go around. I mean, this is just something. This area of the road is kind of a good vantage point where you can see not only the narrow washout that they've got coming up here, but where they are going to be going and where they were already. So I loved that shot. I had tons of these to pick from. They were all this spectacular. Well, as much fun as this was for them, we all have our ideas of how we want to spend our free day, and in a moment I'm going to show you how I spent mine. So as we wrap up this video of our 31-day adventure caravan on the days that we're showing here, you're just going to have to ask yourself, would you have rather done the rafting trip that Sue did, the jeeping that Pat and Paul did, or the nice relaxing day that I had? So let's take a look and see how I decided to spend my day.